rulers of men are scornful of principles of godliness, wisdom, and freedom. But woe, 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 woe comes quickly, man. But woe, 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 woe comes quickly. Yes, they use and abuse women. They raise no children. They live a life of wicked thoughts, corruption, embarrassment, and shame. So in order to maintain power against the very forces of nature, they need to have the citizens living in fear. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for woe comes suddenly. Nice sin, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men found to soon to come to an end. I sing, himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for will come suddenly. I sing, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so to the evil works of evil men found to soon to come to an end. I sing the mind.
People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone welcome, just walk right in. In a critical state, don't wait until it's too late. Hopelessly we have roamed, now this house is a home. But how could you sleep at night when poverty and hunger we got to fight? You gave nothing but disrespect and neglect. Through representation you forget. Representing the rich and mighty while neglecting the poor majority. But there comes a day when our finger got something to say. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone is welcome, just walk right in. No more will you fool the people with propaganda, lies and ramble. No election come again, you're still complaining and playing the blame game. No blind and empty promises won't work for you in this crucial day. Only the house can deliver that much needed shelter. So people get ready, the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone welcome, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone is welcome, just walk right in.
What? Come me greener than green, you know. Just tell me where you've been, you know. Right now, me say me greener than green, you know. Serious business with me. Greener than green, you know. Serious business with me. Want you?
People get ready, the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone welcome, just walk right in. People get ready, the greenhouse is open. You
Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Wherever you are, locally, regionally, internationally, we want to say a special good night to you from the Talking Points family. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 10 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Today, the 13th day of February 2025. Making sure and tag the program for some of the stuff I have to say. In case I have to get sued, you know. Good night to all of you joining us via We Noise Radio. Good night to you, Wade. Good night to the home circle. Oh, Wade, you have a home circle or a home squared? I have to make sure, you know, use that kind of man. Sometimes say home circle and you have a home squared. Folks, remember it's happening this Sunday at the Grenada Trade Center. It's going to be the convention, Women's Convention of the New National Party. I would say we lead and others follow, but we lead and others try to follow, yeah. I have to put that little caveat there. They try to follow.
No change. Me and the neighbor. Yes, man. In the house.
So I hope you all have gotten in contact with your constituency representatives that you've organized to get on the bus.
In the house together.
Ladies, it is your day on Sunday. No, we know Valentine's Day is tomorrow. We talk about that. Seeing on Sunday, right? Yeah. And right now, Breadfruit Fest is taking place. Some naughty folks are only sending me pictures, but then saying, "Shalan, come naughty, naughty, naughty." I am being updated via photography. Good night to you, Mammy George. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Good night to all the listeners joining us via YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, last night they had a very successful meeting out there in Carriacou. A very successful meeting out there in Carriacou. I'll be touching base with the deputy political leader of the New National Party, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. I'll be making sure and touch base with him sometime during the program. Yeah, we need to hear from our good friend out there in Carriacou, our brother, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. We'll also be trying to contact our good friends up there at the Breadfruit Fest. Folks, remember to hit the like button. And don't be stingy with it. Share the program. Send it to your friends on Facebook. Send it to your friends on... Yeah, copy the YouTube link and just forward it to your friends via WhatsApp. We say a special good night to you. Yeah, let me add a thing to it. The Honorable Camille Teresa Scott. Yeah, the Honorable. We adding that to Camille's name. Yeah. Camille. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight, my dear. And hope you have a restful night tonight. Kemita, good night. You know, I spoke with Kemita today and she told me something and I didn't too like what she told me. Let me see if I could find Kemita. Come, yeah, I had to try and see if I could find her because I want to hear about something there. I ain't find what you were telling me there. Nah. So let me see if I could find her. Eh? Yeah, nice. I think I wait. We should go. You answer the phone and you hang up, girl. Watch. We are the NNP. Oh, you mean we will deliver? We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. We will deliver. Right. Yeah. So I have my good friend on the line with me. Good night, my dear.
A pleasant good night to you, Sheldon. How you doing?
Well, good and but still vexed with what you tell me day today.
And good night to
vexed,
all my NNP family, I know.
Yeah, you know me, I just get upset and thing, and that one upset me. Yeah, that one really upset me. Yeah. So how are you doing tonight, though?
Well, I'm trying to be good,
And how is the cocoa going?
Well, the cocoa going good, always.
I say you're up in Breadfruit Fest, But here's what you've called the program in relation to the 2-year-old who has been diagnosed with cancer, and your family's trying to raise funds, friends are trying to raise funds, and so on. Repeat to the general public what you were told.
Well, we're trying to raise funds for our dear ones, with the dear little one, the dear little one, and the thing is negative energy right or wrong. You understand? Because some of them go say, well, some of them will never give at all, and some of them will give.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I was listening to Shaggy program. What day is that? And a woman called, and she say, don't help this farmer, don't help this NNP people, and them let it fend for themselves. Understand? So I want to ask this woman.
Remember, we're talking about a 2-year-old child that has been diagnosed with cancer, and people trying to dissuade people from helping.
Of course.
Them expect to see God face, right?
No, they won't see God face at all. And the thing is, I want to tell this woman, put your shoes in the mother's shoes, how she feeling. Put your foot in the mother's shoes, and you're going to feel how she feel. You understand?
I just find that to be extremely wicked to make that statement.
Of course. Well, this morning, I got a call from a young lady telling me the reason why government want to help the child, because the child won't make it. The child will not make it. But what I'm saying is, I ask her if she's God, ask her if she would have life.
But where does she get off making that statement? Is she making a statement on behalf of government? Is this a person attached to government, or also a 2-year-old child? The child has been diagnosed with cancer. The family trying to save the child's life. It's a human being that day. It's a human being that we're speaking about. This is the kind of heartless nonsense that we keep hearing about there. My goodness.
Of course.
You know,
and Saturday gone.
You know,
and Saturday gone. Well, me MP and the Prime Minister, they was helping with the funds.
Let me be careful. Next thing people feel is Deacon Mitchell. You're speaking about the political leader of the NNP.
No. My Prime Minister, Emlyn Pierre.
Yeah, let me just make sure we use the names. Next thing people get it wrong. We want to make sure they get it correct, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, we was trying to raise a little funds for the child. And they put out a box with the child name and stuff on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking, she even stopped, both vehicles stopped, and she put out the box to see if the guy going to put down the glass, and he never put on the glass. And the guy was a minister, right? A NDC supporter. So let me tell young people outside, they know, don't make the mistake what they make before, because I don't make that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Let's correct it. Let's take all these people from there, because they don't ready yet, and we don't want that. Because look, 2-year-old child in the hospital fighting for his life, and they put politics in front of that. They put green in front, green and yellow.
So they're actually making the statement that the family is NNP?
Of course, the family. Well, I'm telling you, let me tell them big and bold. The family of the child, all of us is green. You understand? With vegetables,
mm-hmm.
right? Lush vegetarian. right? And it's a child. We don't know if it will be the prime minister. We don't know if it's going to be a doctor. We don't know. We need to help the child. You understand? Sometimes you come down with the same problem and you want the help also from the same people you don't want to help. You understand? So let's get up and let's take out this wicked government inside it.
So
because it already yet.
Government isn't offering any sort of help?
To go.
So let me ask, is government offering any sort of help? All with the talk about, all with it. So they're not offering any help in a situation like, I mean, a 2-year-old we're speaking about here.
No, right now, well, we have donation lists going around to see if we're going to get the help. And that's how we're trying to raise funds all over. You see kids, Kita Louis, Father God, I tell you to bless this woman. She put out herself. She come with the family, everybody together, and they put out herself and do that. And I said, I myself, I trying to raise funds also for him, right? And as I get a negative energy. Oh, they don't want to this, they don't want to that. They feel the money good on day, and good up putting the money there. You understand, Sheldon? We need to get up and get. You understand? Because if we leave this government there, I'm telling you, couple will smoke with pipe.
You see, they're talking about facilities, but before you do the facilities, there are still people that need immediate treatment. How do you deal with the people that need immediate treatment? That is what, things like this is what we would have been able to deal with national health insurance. They stall it for the last 2.5 years. Then they fire the company that was trying to do it. All of this would have been covered under something like that. But all
and the same problem. Well, my brother, they have kid brother. Because when he was there, they take off places. He couldn't, you understand? He couldn't get it.
He couldn't get the dialysis
So
because there was the issue with the dialysis. There was the issue with the Forrester dialysis clinic and so on during that period of time. I remember clearly.
Of course. So they might kill me, brother. And they better don't come in front of me, though. Let me tell you something straight up. All those NDC you listening, do not come in front of KIMITA, though.
Kimita, before we say something, we shouldn't say good night, am I there? Because again, kind of vex. So yeah, and I don't like to get upset.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Right. You have a good one, mommy. I know she's somewhere in the back. Tell mommy and sister and them say hello. All right. Have a good one, my dear. All right. Lovely.
Yeah, later.
Yes, indeed. You hear the kind of nonsense that's taking place here. Now, listen, I'll tell you straight up. If I hear that somebody, not only a child, but anybody, has an issue, I ain't trying to find out nothing about what the politics is and that kind of thing. If you can help, you help. As a human being, when time comes for the politics, we don't deal with the politics. But you don't label some people with a 2-year-old child has cancer, and so you're trying to save the child life, and well, there is some NNP. Them people is NNP. I mean, these people, I don't believe these people who saying this kind of thing believe in God, man. You can't believe in God and be saying them kind of thing and getting on with them kind of thing. No way. Yeah? You cannot believe in the Most High and be getting on with them kind of nonsense. It's them kind of thing that are sickening people like me. Watch. Anyway, watch. Folks, I'm going to connect in a short with the Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox. Yeah, I'm going to connect with him in a short while. Let me see if I had, I wonder if I have a picture on them there, boy. Yeah, we have some pictures from Carriacou. Let me see if I could pull up some of the pictures from Carriacou last night to let you all see how the thing went. Yeah, nice, beautiful. Let me see. Let me see if I could get that bigger for you all. Right, let me see if I could get that just a little bigger. Nah, I can't. Right, so let me see. Yeah, those are some photos from last night. Our political leader, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, was in Carriacou last night. And these are just some of the photos of General Secretary. Yeah, we don't worry about General Secretary. And there are some people worrying about who go be the general secretary and all kind of thing, and general secretary. We said general secretary do any work. So good friends out there in Carriacou at that meeting last. Hey, cuz, what go? Yes, my good cousin. Yes, indeed. Yes, so the political leader has been in Carriacou yesterday. These are just some photos directly off of her Facebook page. And the Honorable Nolan Cox was there as well. So just some photos from the Carriacou meeting. Hey, that girl, right? Okay, right. That girl from down that side, right? Okay, right. Yeah. So just some photos from last night's activity. Bonston, good night to you, sir. Yes. So just hey, and I'm sure that is Miss Matterson that guy in a hug. Yeah, that is Miss Matterson that guy in the hug day. Right. Yes. Beautiful. All right. So those are just some photos from last night's interaction up there in Carriacou, and where our political leader met with the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique last night. Yeah, in continuing in the New National Party Vision Tour meetings. All right, yeah, and you see the people come out, man. Yeah. Carriacou people come out. They make sure and come and meet with the political leader of the new. And remember, that is those that come out. Some of them afraid they wouldn't get a little house bill, some material and thing. So they kind of, you understand, they can't show their face as they want to. So they had to kind of duck out. But let's see if we could connect with Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox. Let me see. I should have him somewhere here. Let me see if I could find Senator Cox. Yeah. Let's see if we can connect with Senator Cox and have a conversation. All right, and find out how things went in Carriacou last night. So I think we have Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox on the line with us. Good night, sir.
Hey, good night, Sheldon, and pleasant good night to your listeners and viewers.
All right, man. How things going with you, man?
Pretty good. Just fortunate. To be alive. Giving thanks.
And how is before anything else? How is mommy?
She's home.
So she's home
she's
now.
doing okay.
All right.
Yeah, she's home. Yeah, I just came. Just came from by her a little while ago. Yeah, she been home for the past 3 weeks. Yeah, she been home.
I know you guys been working hard on making sure that she could be home, eh? Yeah, man.
Yeah, she just got some internet yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, so so she could watch the videos because we on this end. Yeah. So
yes, indeed. So
watch the movies and to keep herself entertained. Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. And I see you turn carpenter, painter, all kind of thing. You mixing grout, you do all kind of.
No, I've always had those skills. Yeah, so.
Yes, but you've been utilizing your skills for a proper reason.
Yep, definitely.
Before we get into last night's meeting, how is Carriacou at this stage? We're into the month of February. We are just a few months away from heading back into the hurricane season again. How is Carriacou at this point in time?
Well, a number of persons are still reeling from the after effects of Beryl, and a number of persons are still in the same situation. Persons continue to work and to do the best that they can to help improve their home situation, but it's slow in coming. It's a little tough period for everybody, and sometimes even though you're in a little better situation than the other person, it's also still tough to see your neighbors struggling. And so all around it's just a challenging time for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, especially Petit Martinique. It's a challenging time for both of our islands, but we have to persevere and see how best we can come out of this as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. Many of the businesses that were destroyed, what percentage might you guess? You wouldn't have an exact figure because you're not in a position to have that. But what percentage of the businesses that were destroyed in Carriacou do you believe are back up and operating at full capacity, partial capacity? How many of them?
It's a little bit difficult to kind of scrape off the top of my head. Just thinking around Hillsborough, Some areas, there are no businesses there. Some businesses are up back partially to some extent.
So it's difficult to judge at this point the percentage.
It's difficult. Some businesses, they provide more than one services, and so they may have open back up, like so most of the guest houses. They may be operating, but with limited amount of rooms available.
Like Hotel Lorena, I know they lost the roof there. Have they fixed that? They back up as full rooms, or just downstairs they're using for now?
There's some of the rooms they're using. Just yesterday, I was there, and they were making preparations to start some repairs. So they were painting some ply and stuff and the like. So they're getting ready to do some major renovation as well. So most of the guest houses are in that situation where they have limited capacity in terms of accommodation, because some of the rooms are still out of commission. So it's a work in progress, and it's tough for small businesses, and so persons are trying. It's a difficult time for everybody, but we're trying to cope as best as we can.
The school situation, has that finally settled down now? Children going to school, it's normalized. We know there was some serious challenges earlier when the school started. People in tents sweating like you're in an Indian sweat lodge. And when I say Indian, I'm referring here to the North American wild Indian sweat lodge. Has that normalized now?
It has settled down. In the case of the two schools that had some challenges, I think Mount Pleasant, the renovations or repair work is probably almost close to completion. So they probably will be going back to a normal classroom setting sometime in the not too distant future. But Dover is definitely out of a school and will be out of a school for quite some time. But they are coping as best as they can. The teachers, really have to commend them, and the parents for their support in terms of working with the current situation. So I think everybody understand. I think when I was at the last PTA, and was a recommendation from parents to the Ministry of Education. The Minister for Education was there, and we spoke a couple of things around a couple suggestions, and I think there was a recommendation for a temporary building to house the school going forward. So I know that government do have its own challenges in terms of resources, but that was one of the recommendations that was put forward, and I guess as much the Minister of Education would have to take it to the chairman of the cabinet and to see how best those resources can be made available for the school to the temporary school to be built. So I think there was a suggestion that it can be done when we have the long break in the summer during that period. So come September, at least they would have a temporary building.
But that's hoping that the weather holds during that period of time, and you don't have consistent rains, which is going to affect that again.
I think if they work smartly, they can achieve it. It can be done. Despite little showers, they can pull it off during that period.
Yes, indeed. We were just asking because people they need to get an update every now and again of how things are going. In Carriacou.
Well, with PD Matnik, they have their own challenges. Well, for students coming to Carriacou, I think for the past 2 days, the ferry that normally takes the students down had some mechanical issues, and so children weren't able to come to school, I believe, for the past 2 days. And surely last time I was on, we had the conversation of one of the issues that was raised by the residents in Peter Matnik regarding the jetty at the Windward area. I think that suggestion still stands. There's a clear opportunity for the government to put back a temporary jetty at Windward to make the travels between Peter Matnik and Carriacou shorter. In effect, making it safer instead of taking the longer route around. The waters are pretty bad this time of the year, and it's creating
heavy
a bit
wind.
of challenge.
There's heavy wind,
Yeah, it's
so
creating
it's
a bit of
choppy.
challenges, yes. Yeah, for business and other things as well. It's not difficult to do. The piles are still there, so it's just to put some material and just build a temporary wooden jetty until they sort out the issue and maybe wanting to do something more permanent. So I think that is all the people of Pilimatic have asked for, to help to ease the travel between the islands. I think it is quite reasonable. I think it is doable, and it's not something that is beyond the capacity of the government to do. And they've been asking for it for months, and I think as a responsible opposition, I have an opportunity to and a space to do so, and I'm only echoing their suggestions, their needs, and I think that it is something right and proper to do.
And then we've been speaking about that for a while, and other issues, Petit Martinique, and specific to Petit Martinique. And we recognize now that the government kind of get embarrassed since we've been speaking, so they're trying to start a couple houses in Petit Martinique now, in 2025.
They have started three are currently on the way. And additionally, by doing the jetty, it can help also deal with some other critical issues, like, for example, healthcare. It has been brought to my attention too as well. The district medical officer who normally goes to Petit Martinique on a weekly basis has not been able to do so successfully. So there are a number of persons who have to get repeat medication or may need to see the doctor. Just follow-up checks, those basic things, just to make sure that they're doing okay. That has not been happening, unfortunately, because of course the clinic is not appropriate, is not suitable. I know that the staff, the nurse and the other persons there have been trying their best to cope with the situation, but it is not suitable for them to be there. I know there were discussions about relocating them. I noticed I don't live too far from the Windward Health Center. I noticed that there are renovation works taking place on the Windward Health Center currently. So when that center becomes operational, it is also a clear opportunity for residents from Petit Martinique who could just traverse right between Petit Martinique and the Windward to come to the Windward Health Center. So if the jetty can be done, that also solves an issue in terms of persons being able to access primary healthcare services during this period. So there are a number of opportunities. As I say, I am not just critiquing, but we are also giving credible options and solutions to address those. Those are small things that can be quickly addressed, and so we call and we do hope that they take those suggestions into considerations in the interest of providing services for the people who really need it most currently in Petit Martinique at this critical time.
Yes, indeed. And Senator Cox, we move now on to last night's meeting, the NNP Vision Tours, where our political leader, together with you, our deputy political leader, our general secretary, spoke to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Well, I don't know if anyone came down from Petit Martinique for the meeting, but definitely to the people of Carriacou and put forward
unfortunately, persons from Petit Martinique weren't able to come because I said the ferry and the water is pretty bad. We didn't really want to put
come around. They had to come around.
Yeah, and then the meeting was in the evening, was in the night, so it means that they were traveling on the water like 9-10 o'clock in the night to go back. We thought that we didn't want to risk that. The waters were pretty windy and pretty choppy, so we decided against that. But we are looking at the possibility. I haven't discussed with the political leaders yet, but I'm discussing with a couple of members the possibility of us actually doing a segment of a vision tour just for Petit Martinique. Yeah, so that is something that we are looking at as a possibility of doing going forward. I think it's important that we go there and just present clearly what is taking place and what are some of the plans that we want to do in terms of moving forward as a new political team.
So you all were able to discuss with the people of Carriacou. Give us a little insight into the meeting.
Well, we had the meeting at the RISA conference room upstairs, the RISA building. We had an excellent turnout. We are filled to capacity and overflowing. So we are very happy that people came out to listen and had an opportunity to engage with the political leader. It was a really wonderful, comfortable, engaging setting. We had an opportunity to raise some of the critical issues that is affecting Carriacouans currently. A lot of it's surrounding around the recovery and rebuilding efforts. And we also spoke on some of the national issues, in particular, where we are in terms of the economy of the country, some of fiscal issues. One of the key issues that I raised last night that is affecting persons, that is a critical buzz on the ground now, is the decision by the government to reinstitute VAT on building materials and other services, goods and services in Carriacou and Pitimatnik.
Hold up, brother. The Minister of Finance was saying this week that they are still giving the concessions, I believe, to the people of Carriacou and Pitimatnik.
No, I let me correct you. I think what he said, and I think I raised that to show the contradiction, that from the national standpoint, the government is saying through the Minister of Finance press conference that the country is still in a state of emergency or crisis as regards to burial. Mm-hmm. Hence, they are not going to revert the fiscal responsibility legislation, which allows them to default on paying debts and something like that. I can't remember the particulars.
Yeah, they're not going to. Yeah? They're not going to reinstate it, but they're going to extend it.
Right.
Yeah, the fiscal resilience.
So they're going to extend it. So my point was that if the government is saying that it is doing that because of the situation, but yet in turn, you are implementing or reinstating VAT full on the people of Carriacou and Pitimatnik, some of the persons who have been approved for housing support for materials, mm-hmm. They have been approved for housing support for materials, and they have not been able to collect the materials as yet. Either be they don't have all the materials, or some of the materials are short, or they're probably not ready to start. They're now subject to that VAT, which means that if you take out that 15% from the $15,000, it might take you down to about $12,000 something in the water materials. So in effect, you are going to be receiving less materials than initially if the VAT was not applied. And so that is an issue that is affecting persons who are recipients of support. And then otherwise, persons who actually know about maybe being able to raise the funds to start the rebuilding, or just finish settling with the insurance and just probably got their claim, they are now about to start rebuilding. So they now are going to be impacted by VAT and not being able to get an opportunity to benefit from that no VAT that was implemented prior. So
but again,
that is the situation at hand.
Yes. I'm just checking what the minister was saying, that the incentives that were put in place last year, that they have not removed them. That let me say what he says, still allowing some of the incentives, as he did say allowing some of the incentives that been announced last year after burial to continue in 2025 for Carriacou and Pitimatnik. We have also announced in previous that we will not be charging Carriacou and Pitimatnik property tax for 2025, and some selected properties in St. Patrick and St. Mark. So,
probably the property tax. Probably property tax. But what I can tell you is that the VAT has been reinstituted. That's a fact.
So what incentives it have again then? If you're putting the VAT on the building material, it's a significant increase by 15%. According to it might even be as much as so it's a significant increase there.
Yeah. So that's one of the core issues that we thought that is a clear opportunity for the government to suspend that and to allow probably for another 3-4 months or 6 months or so, maybe until the middle of the year, to allow persons to be able to access materials VAT free and to be able to. I mean, I do understand the challenge. The government do have a need for revenue, but it in turn, at the same time, those revenues have been collected to provide services for the very said people. So there must be some measure of balance, find some middle ground, either maybe reduce it by half or something of the sort, to allow government to at least gain some revenue as well. We have to be reasonable and be cognizant of the fact that based on what the Minister for Finance has indicated, that government do have a challenge in terms of meeting the finances to meet the 2025 budget. So, I mean, as a responsible opposition, we do not want to just say a blanket, remove all of that and be responsible at the same time affecting government finances, albeit we believe that one of the main reasons why we are where we are is because of poor fiscal measures and management and wasteful spending. But at the same time, we want to ensure that the country functions, because if it doesn't, it's going to affect each and every one of us. Yeah, so that was one of the issues. We had an opportunity, political leader did have an opportunity to present her strategic plan in a broad sense of where, as being the new leader of the party, what she envisioned where we're moving forward, some of the things that she'll be working on during this tenure to ensure that the party continues to grow its membership, ensure its sustainability, and strengthen the core values of the party, and to ensure that we continue to strive for another 40 years or more. So I think our political leader has been doing an excellent job. She has been very busy over this since convention. I don't think she has taken a break at all. So I just really want to commend her on her efforts and what she has been doing. And I'm truly privileged to be her right hand in this effort as we move the party and the work of the party forward. And of course, I mean, we have our esteemed chairman who has been a long-standing leader of the party. I believe has played a critical role in ensuring to help us to find the best balance in terms of doing what we have to and giving some advice and guidance as both of us as young heads in terms of leadership role and the political scene to ensure that the new national party grows and grows stronger and stronger.
Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox, yourself and Honorable Emlyn Pierre have an enviable position at this point in time. You all have a chairman in the person of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, who many other political parties, they would sell half of their members in Parliament right now just to have him to be able to advise them. And I'm talking from the Northern Caribbean to the Southern Caribbean into South America. That people would wish they had the opportunity that you all have to be able to pick his brain every now and again and to be able to bounce stuff off of him. They wish they had that opportunity.
You wouldn't believe, coincidentally, I had a telephone conversation with a colleague of mine. And so he was like, you ain't received a call yet? I say, what call? You see, from a certain individual from the other side. I mean, they would be crazy to not give you a call and ask them to join them. So, I mean, I had a very good laugh,
Let us steady with that. Let us steady with that. They feel it so?
No, I mean, what I've signed up for, and one of the things that has led me towards the National Party is because of his core values and philosophy. I think, the history, the resume of the party is one that stands out. As I indicated and continue to say, we have made mistakes. We are not perfect, but we are confident that we have done an excellent job in terms of managing the country when we were given the opportunity to do so. And one of the things that the political leader has indicated is that, and in one of her remarks, she indicated that one of the best time to judge someone's performance or competencies in terms of managing a country is during a crisis. And we have, whenever we had crisis, we managed. Really good. We have done pretty good during COVID recently. COVID, we were outstanding in terms of navigating, and we paid public servants who were home for months. Were able to pay them and pay them on time, while all the whole country was shut down. This is what you call management and leadership. So I sometimes I don't understand, after meeting a cushion, a fiscal cushion of in excess of $500 million, and you find yourself in less than 3 years in a hole, it says something. We were warning them about spending and just wasteful spending, but they will soon find out that money have wings. So I think they do find that out now. So this is where we are, and there is a strong call for the National Party to come on again and rescue this country in a crisis time, because our resume shows that we have done exceedingly well in terms of looking after the people's business and looking after the country during these critical times.
Yes, indeed. Senator, the Honorable Norland Cox, our Deputy Political Leader of the New National Party, we'd like to thank you so much for taking some time to be on with us tonight. Carriacou Carnival is coming up. I ain't too sure about the Carriacou Carnival kind of thing this year, brother. I hear it coming up, but I ain't too sure about the Carriacou Carnival thing this year. I've never been, so I'm not one of the...
I'm really and truly, Sheldon, and you see, and sometimes people don't understand when you make certain comments and why I make certain comments, and you can see it's a consistent repetition of slow and indecisive actions and critical issues. So you announce that you're having Carnival like 1 month before. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have some form of Carnival celebrations. I think it's a clear opportunity for some economic activity, some revenue generation for businesses that are struggling. But at the same time, it was done too late. It was done too late. The decision was taken too late. So in itself, you come as if you're hurting, what you're trying to achieve. And it's because of this indecisiveness, you find yourself making a decision extremely late. I think sometime, you have Carnival, sometime around December, late in the year, you should at least make some decisions, so persons who may want to make certain investments, persons who may want to do certain things, have a clear opportunity to do so.
Because I can tell you, the minister was on national radio and television, and he was asked about Carriacou Carnival a couple months ago. And his response, very defensively, was, you all understand that we just had a hurricane, right? You all understand that the place is damaged, right? It was along those lines. It was a kind of arrogant answer. Instead of just saying a yes or no, it was like, you all understand we just had a hurricane, right?
Yeah, and as I said, it just goes to show in terms of capacity and what like. Okay, we are in January, and Grenada Carnival is in August, and decisions have already been made on certain things. We normally would have regatta in August. I think there's a clear opportunity to decide now to do some assessments to see whether or not we can have a regatta and what form it can take. If any at all.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with having...
Yeah, it might be a good avenue for generating some income, but organization...
You have to think it through. You have to organize and think it through, and look at everything, taking everything into consideration, the whole issue of accommodation and security and other stuff, because you have additional people coming on the island. So there are a number of things, and I believe that is where the whole issue of competencies and in terms of planning is lacking. It is more of a reactive. It's like somebody call them and say, look, man, have carnival, man. Just let we have carnival, and they just come out and say we having carnival. So yeah. Well, it seemed that way. I don't want to accuse, but it appears as if that is the case, because I'm saying that it was raised long before. So there was a clear opportunity for some discourse to take place, because there are some set activities and there's a clear opportunity to look at that.
And especially the preparation for the traditional, like the Shakespeare Mass and so. There's preparation it's not just a thing you come out and do. There's preparation that takes place in relation to these things. So,
as I said, that's for me. That's the only red flag. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have some form of celebration or whatever form it will take. And to me, like, they still haven't really fleshed out what is that they want to do. I'm hearing different formats. But a lot of it is rest with the private promoters. I understand that they had meeting this week trying to flesh out charging persons for fee for the license, fees for operating. I don't think probably. I mean, I am outside of the discussions, but I think it will be a clear opportunity, at least really not to charge anybody during this period. Getting an opportunity. If you just really having no competitions, why you need to raise additional money. If you don't have any expense, you're not having any shows. If there is some minimal expenses that government could cover, I think it'd be a clear opportunity for government to just allow persons and promoters to just have events without having to ascribe to some fee or some kind of thing like that. Just give people a chance to just recover.
Let them
to make a little money too. It's just I think we have done it before. I think right after COVID, during our time, there was a similar kind of format for Carnival, something similar like that, where we just allow people to have things, promoters to do things, and we didn't charge any fee. So I think there's precedent there. But I say I don't know if there is a justification for the charging of those fees, so I really don't want to come off as just going against it. But I think that there's a clear opportunity for not charging. I would strongly recommend so at this point in time.
All right. Senator Cox, thank you so very much. Do enjoy the rest of your night, sir, and give our love from Talking Points. From one coast, the east coast of the United States, to the west coast, to Canada, to England. We have the English listeners on. These people that stay up until 1, 2 in the morning listening in England. They send their love to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So give us your closing thoughts, sir. Go right ahead.
Just two things. Just to probably end on a kind of light note. Sometimes politics, you can't really get it out. I still say there is a clear opportunity for the gentleman to do the honorable thing, and just to offer a simple apology. I think there's a clear opportunity for that.
Mommy home now, Mommy home now, so he don't have to see her in spirit. He could come and see her for herself. She there now. He could come and apologize.
Yes, he could pass by she and apologize. I mean, I think so. And maybe I probably wouldn't even talk about it afterwards, if he do so. I wouldn't put him on the spot. I go let him off,
If he man up.
I mean, I know he wouldn't do the same for me. I mean, he was quick to try to try and show me up as if I was being hypocritical about something and then benefiting from it, which was very far from the truth. That was what he was intending to do. That was his objective, but sorry to disappoint him in that regard. But there was only one thing that for me in most recent time that stuck with me, that I really, I have kids, and sometimes people do things, they have exposure to all different kind of things, and I myself, from where I sit, everything I do, everything I say, I think about them and how that will impact them. But one of the things that has really troubled me, I just can't understand how somebody could mistakenly or intentionally cuss a police officer and still boast about it. That is what boggles me. That is the only thing that I can't get over that.
Senator Cox, you know, if one of us had made that mistake in a Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell cabinet,
we'll be looking for a job, probably. We'll be looking for a job. Yeah.
It are not getting away with that, you know.
I just imagine him walking to the cabinet in the morning and his whole demeanor. You know something is going to happen.
No way you was getting away with that one.
That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, you know, and I think there's a clear opportunity for apology. You can do it privately and so, but as I say, we'll see how that goes.
Yes, indeed.
We'll see how that goes.
Senator Cox, thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Do enjoy the rest of your night. All right, my brother.
You too as well, and continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
People look forward to it.
Thank you so very much, brother.
Yeah, whenever you plan to come to Carriacou, let me know.
No, you're gonna know early, man. But you know the main people that has come and check. You know what go on. So.
Well, I have some new people who wants to see you, who wants to say hello to you in person.
No.
So they've asked me specifically. Yeah.
You know I love my people. So within the month.
Yeah.
Within the month,
okay.
I'll be there.
All right.
All right, my brother.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Within the month, I definitely have to go to Carriacou within the next month because, friends and family. Yeah, friends, family, fans. That's what Mr. Killer does say. FFFF. Right. FFF. Right. Friends, family, fans. Right. I must go up to Carriacou. Yes, indeed. And I wonder if we, let me see if I could get some people here. Let me see if I could tell them. Let me see if I could get some other people on. And because we had to go and deal with something else there in a little while. And it kind of falls back into certain things that Senator Cox was speaking about a short while ago. And we definitely going to have to go back into that. Louis, good night to you. And one of the other things too is I think probably nothing stopping us from doing our talking points in Carriacou, you know. Yeah, and when we get bad, we go in and just pull up our table at the side of the road and we're doing talking points on the road when we get bad, you know. Yeah, nothing is stopping us from doing our talking points in Carriacou. So we might just you might hear that talking points is going live from Carriacou. That is a small thing for us to do, man, you know. Technical, you know, we could handle we scene and get that done. And again, yes, and I agree, Michelle Alexander. I think it's time for the MP of Carriacou and Petit Martinique to man up and apologize. He did something. And you see, one thing you don't play around with is people's mother. Eh? You might get away with their father sometimes, but you see the mother, they don't play around with that. And they need to ensure that he goes and he apologizes. But you see, it takes a man to do that. So it tells you about the individuals when they would just feel that people will forget that. Yeah, a month passed, 2 months passed, people will forget it. No. They have to be a man up. Go and say, hey, I made a mistake. It's an honest mistake, even if it wasn't honest. Just go and it was an honest mistake and man up. But in this case, you know, that ain't taking place. 440-737. So while I wait on a call from some folks here, 440-737-7347, 329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. And folks, those of you that would like to get in contact with the family so that you can make your donations towards that 2-year-old who these people and them, I mean, it's totally disgusting. But if you want to make your donation towards them, let me know. I'll put you in direct contact with them, yeah? No to this one, to that one, to that one, directly to the family. All right, let's see what we can do. And, you know, many folks are saying, yeah, oh, this, that, the other, and they wouldn't even put at $10 or $20 or whatever it is that you have that you can give to assist, please. Yeah, contact us. We'll organize and then we can try to help this situation. You hear what this child is up against. They're not only up against the cancer, they're up against bad mind. And that is one of the worst diseases that have on this planet or universe is a thing called bad mind. So the child is not just up against the situation with the with the cancer, they up against bad mind as well. I wonder if my partner there, but partners, Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Man, you have to come on camera, man. What kind of thing you getting on with this? You have to come on camera, man. Step away from the noise a bit and come on camera, man. Yeah, well, I don't understand what you're getting on with me. Let me just pull you up. Let me just pull you up for everyone to see right now. Folks, we're going across the Breadfruit Fest tonight, man. Yeah. Breadfruit Fest is happening, man. Straighten your camera now, man. What kind of side waiting you're giving us there? And we have on the line with us Royalty James. Royalty.
The Caress band is on. And the audience, let me ensure that you get a good view of the audience.
Lovely. And then we see Dr. Modest. She's had a long day today. So we see Dr. Modest.
We on with Sheldon.
Yes, folks, you're live on Talking Points.
So we on with Sheldon. We actually on the program.
Good night to you, Dr. Modest. You're live on Talking Points. all you instead my breadfruit for me, you know. Me and Roy then go have it out.
So we're having a wonderful time up here. The Caress band is on, as you can see behind me.
All right. So what time are you folks going up until? I'm not sure if you can hear me properly because I know you're in a lot of noise, but what time are you all going up until?
So we're going up until at 11. We'll be ending officially at 11.
All right. So if folks are in the vicinity, they can still come over. They're still getting food.
Yes, we still have teachery fish cake that is on.
But you're
we
wicked.
have oil up that is still on. We have fried breadfruit that is still on. Yeah, I know the facial expression. I know, right?
But me and you ain't no friend. Me and you ain't no friend after today, eh, brother. Right. You ain't no friend after today. Go ahead.
So yes, so we have a few sample of items still, and we have like breadfruit sponge that is still on. A lot of items, but not too much of it, but there is still items that are available.
All right. Wonderful, man. Let me leave you all to get back to your breadfruit because I'll drop none for me. Let me leave you all to get back to your breadfruit and enjoy the rest of your night, man. We're looking forward to Breadfruit Fest 4. Yeah? Breadfruit Fest 4.0. We're looking forward to that. All right, Prince. You enjoy, man. Bless up. Yes, indeed, folks. We got our good friends out there at Breadfruit Fest. Yeah, you know, we had a call in and thing, you know. I understand how we just drop it, you know. Yeah, that is talking points where you know. We make sure and we get into Breadfruit Fest so you can see what's going on and all kind of thing. Well, you know, we know what to do. We know what to handle. We seen. Yeah, we get Prince and we find out what's going on, you know. Yes, indeed, folks. Last night we were speaking about the fact, and we're just getting into the next conversation now. We haven't forgotten the others there, but we're getting into the other part of the conversation because it's our last program for the week this week. And we spoke last night about the fact, we ain't saying nothing that's untrue, that this government intends to bring a loan authorization bill of at least, not up to, but of at least $725 million. The highest in the history of Grenada, and since budget been budgeting. In the history of Grenada, it is going to be the highest loan authorization bill. In other words, this is the component that means government doesn't have that money. They want to do that, but they don't have the money to do it. So they are giving themselves the ability to borrow that money so that they can do what they need to do. If other sources of funding, like for instance, if they don't make enough in taxes, because remember, Carriacou isn't paying property tax. So in case they're not making enough in taxes or any other area, that they can go ahead and they can borrow. But you know what? I want to remind people what the NDC does say. Yeah, I think I want to remind people what NDC used to say in relation to when the new National Party had a loan authorization bill, because I've looked today at many supporters of the National Democratic Congress, unfortunately, some of them making absolute fools of themselves, trying to defend what is taking place now. Let me repeat. I've looked at many supporters of the National Democratic Congress today, making fools of themselves, trying to defend this. But hear what the NDC used to say in relation to things like this. Let me see which one it is here. Right. Let me hear what the NDC used to say in relation to things like this. This would be back in when? I'm trying to remember the year. But anyway, we'll see what the NDC used to say in relation to things like loan authorization bill. Yeah, we're playing some clips tonight.
For the first time in years, the government is making a surplus. That's what the Prime Minister says. They're boasting that they're collecting more revenues today than they have ever collected in the history of the country. And so the question must be asked, why does the government find it necessary, immediately after passing a budget, and in the context of that surplus, to go out and borrow 100 million US dollars? This is 270 million EC dollars. The national debt, as we understand it at the moment, is about $2.1 billion. That is what we're seeing. So the question is, what is this money for? And if you say you're making a surplus, why are you borrowing it? The further question is this: if you are going to borrow,
we might have to play this for the NDC, yeah? Because you hear what Mr. Burke saying. If you have a surplus, because this government does not have a surplus, they are operating at a deficit. But anyway, let Mr. Burke finish say what he's saying, eh? Papayo, let me just go back a little bit so that we could get back his trend of thought. Nice, we don't want to misinterpret him.
Money for? And if you say you're making a surplus, why are you borrowing it? The further question is this: if you are going to borrow money like this, why are you choosing to do something like this at a time when you just come out of a restructuring on the eve of a national election, only weeks before a national election? Yes? And less than weeks really after the budget has been approved. Why are these monies being borrowed?
I am gravely concerned that two things are happening. Some of that money seems to be being utilized for the election campaign. It is part of the campaign to me. I'm saying that based on, I'm not calling any business place's name, but you can check yourself. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in vouchers, providing people with stoves and fridges and what have you, are being distributed around the country by one group. I'm not too sure I want to name any group, but one particular group seems to have all the money in the world to distribute just about everything. And this is a Ray Roberts comment. I know I'm on an NDC platform here, but I think I would ask your indulgence. I am particularly worried that this election is being infested with dirty money. And I am not going to don't ask me where it come from, don't ask me for no evidence. You must go and do it. Do the work yourself. There's a courthouse, there are institutions that you can trace. All I'm saying to you, I am very worried that this election can be a bought out one. But I want to say to the voters in particular, look what you have in the parliament now. You have a parliament that is not accountable. In fact, in the last session, we named Member of Parliament Clement as the man in charge of the Public Accounts Committee. That is a man from a gentleman from the same political party that is in government going to be heading the Public Accounts Committee. I'm not speculating. All I'm saying here is that does not seem right for me. Honorable George Vincent filled that role for a while. But if you go back to the notes, and I'm surprised that didn't make any news, that the name I heard called was one Clement to head the Public Accounts Committee. If Grenada is happy with what is happening now, all I can tell Grenada, those of us who are adults wouldn't pay a price. It is the children and grandchildren we're going to have who will pay a price. The debt we have now, we're too old to pay it back. It is the grandchildren and children that are going to be paying it back.
Also, it's the children and grandchildren who will be paying it back. And at that point in time, the amount of the loan authorization was somewhere around what, 40 million. And we want to say thanks to Now Grenada. Yeah, found that one via Now Grenada. So we want to give the props to Now Grenada for that one. I think that dates back to when? That dates back to about 2017 or somewhere there. Yeah, 2017, 2018, somewhere there. Yeah. So you've heard it yourself. You've heard what the NDC had to say in the past about loan authorization and putting the country in debt and that kind of thing. And now, I don't know if Brother Nazimberg, because we know he's supposed to be heading up the oil and gas thing that's supposed to report to us. Let me cross my legs, yeah? Right, nice. We know he's been setting up in charge of the oil and gas committee that has been supposed to report to us since the ending of November. We are now approaching the middle of February in the following year, and we still have not heard anything from the oil and gas committee. Yeah? We have heard him in relation to a loan authorization bill. At that point in time, that was nowhere near the kind of figures you're talking about now. This is triple and quadruple the amounts that were being put onto loan authorizations at that point in time by the New National Party. Now you have one for at least, so it means that you could go to 800 million, you could go to 900 million, because the minister did not say up to 725 million. Yeah, he didn't make that distinction. In fact, how he said it, you would understand that they can go above that. But I ain't, Brother Ray, maybe I'm not in the same circles to hear you on this particular one. So maybe I need to find myself, yeah, in the right circles to hear you. Because I ain't hear you on this one. Brother Burke, I ain't hear you on this one. Because if it was wrong under the New National Party, because this government is claiming surpluses. Meanwhile, the IMF is talking about deficit. So the IMF is saying that the Grenadian economy is operating with a deficit. That's after this government is claiming that they have surpluses. They don't have surpluses. During the New National Party time, it had surpluses. During this period, when they say they get 500 million through CBI, that tourism is improving, they gain more money there and all sort of thing, that they've improved tax collection and they're getting money left, right, and center. After they say all of that, you end up in a situation now where they're going to borrow the most money ever in history. Yeah? The most money ever in history. Let me see what let me see if we could find what another member of the political organization had to say in relation to the, let me see if yeah, just making sure that I have it properly here. Nice. Let's see what another member of that organization had to say before they became government. I'll come to the phone lines in a while. Let me play what I had to play. Yeah. Let me play what I had to play tonight. Right? Yeah. Let's see what another member of that organization had to say in relation to debts and so on. While they were still in opposition, they wasn't the MP yet. Yeah. So let me, now close your mouth, boy. Yeah. Right. Nice. Let me hear them.
Unfortunately, as usual, or as per usual, the workers of this country, the ordinary working people, always have to bear the brunt of that responsibility. When they do their things, they always have to sacrifice. They always have to be the ones responsible for loans, bad payment, bad debt, whatever.
Wait, the workers of this country, you know that, right? Your government, and I'm pretty sure you are going to stand up and vociferously support the loan authorization bill. So you're saying, and let's just get it back, we don't want to misquote you, Honorable Ron Redhead.
As usual, or as per usual, the workers of this country, the ordinary working people, always have to bear the brunt of that responsibility. When they do their things, they always have to sacrifice. They always have to be the ones responsible for loans, bad payment, bad debt, whatever it is. This thing is unfair and unjust, and the government must search its heart and
Oh yeah, it is unfair, not just, and the government must. Oh, let me hear you again, brother. We want to make sure we hear you properly. We do not want to misquote the MP. This was the MP when he was not a MP. Yeah? When he was a wannabe MP. So this is what he had to say about when you're taking loans and you're putting the country in debt and that kind of thing. This is what he had to say. Yeah?
As usual, or as per usual, the workers of this country, the ordinary working people, always have to bear the brunt of that responsibility. When they do their things, they always have to sacrifice. They always have to be the ones responsible for loans, bad payment, bad debt, whatever it is. This thing is unfair and unjust, and the government must search its heart and try to give the workers something.
Okay, so the government, right, so it's the workers and them go suffer. Thank you, GBN, to the point. Right, and I can't remember the data that, but I think that was about 16, 17, somewhere there. Right, yes. So we hear the present MP for St. George Northeast. Yeah, we hear the one-term MP for St. George. Did I say that? Yes, we hear the one-term MP for St. George Northeast saying when you do this loan and thing, it's the workers that has had to pay. It's them you just have to go and say we can't give you as much money as we had to give you and that kind of thing, and we can't do because to pay it had to pay, ain't it? Yeah, to pay it had to pay. Right? Let me see. I wonder who else talk on these kind of thing. Let me hear who else spoke in relation to this. Nah. Don't do me that thing. Come, move the nice, right. I want you alone. Right, nice. Yeah, we just want to make sure that alone, that playing there. Right, we don't want the others to play. Just this one. Nice. Papa, yo. All right, let me see. Right, folks, let's hear what else they had to say in relation to incurring debt, because this is the largest amount of debt that any government in history of Grenada. In fact, if you add up the last 5 years of the New National Party, it still does not come up to the amount of money that they're borrowing in 1 year. All right, so let's hear what the now Prime Minister had to say when he was seeking to become the Prime Minister.
Who go to a bank for a loan knows that the bank will not give you the loan if you cannot pay back the loan. And you know if you cannot pay back the loan, it spells disaster for you. You will lose your house. You will lose your car. It is the same thing on a national level. If our government continuously spends more than it receives and borrows to finance the difference, we will continuously be in a position where the vast majority of our resources are spent trying to repay unsustainable debt.
Okay, I wonder if I'll hear what the Prime Minister said. Well, at that time, he wasn't the Prime Minister. He was just the political leader of the NDC. Let me hear him again. And I can tell you when this is from. It's from the 2nd of December, in the year 2021. Yeah, the 2nd of December 2021 at the Grenada Trade Center. Mr. Deacon Mitchell at that time, the new leader at that time of the NDC, was responding to the 2021 budget, and in particular the aspect of it where you had the loans component, the loan authorization bill that usually goes along with the thing. So let's hear him again what he had to say at that point in time in relation to putting your country in debt. Remember the same man that is right now about over 700, yeah. So let me over 725 million. So let's hear what he had to say.
Pay back the loan, it spells disaster for you. You will lose your house. You will lose your car. It is the same thing on a national level. If our government continuously spends more than it receives and borrows to finance the difference, we will continuously be in a position where the vast majority of our resources are spent trying to repay unsustainable debt. So if we wish to transform our economy, if we are going to borrow at all, the borrowing must be for the productive sectors, the sectors that will grow the economy. Because when the economy grows, the government gets additional revenues and it allows you to sustain and repay and pay down your debt. It is as simple as that.
All right, so let's see, it's as simple as that. Okay, all right, it's as simple as that. So here we say, yeah, you're putting yourself in all kind of problems, and you understand, yeah, Papa, yeah, it's all you don't say all kind of thing, you know. Me, I don't say it. The man say thing for himself. Don't blame me. I is not Ron. I am not Ray. I am not a Naz. I am certainly not Deacon. It's not me say it. It's these people that was preaching to the Grenadian people. In fact, in the particular instance of Ray Roberts, he is the one. I am not saying something that he didn't say. I'm saying that he seems to be very silent when something much, much, much worse than what he was accusing, because here is what? Remember, this administration last year changed the threshold under the act that allows the Procurement Act and brought it up to 100,000. Yeah, in other words, they can give little contracts and so on, multiple contracts for up to $100,000 all over the place, because they changed it from the 14 and they brought it up to there, which means it's 700 million. You don't know what could happen, but then Ray say when you had them kind of money, there's TF you're looking to go and TF election, and them that not me that say. Ray that say when you had them kind of money there, is most likely you're looking to go and TF election. For those who have just been joining, because yes, you all just return to wap, right, yeah. Let me just replay for you all. I say hold on the phone line. Hey. What do all you? Right. Yeah, let's play again. The first one for you. Let's play the first one again.
For the first time in years, the government is making a surplus. That's what the Prime Minister says. They're boasting that they're collecting more revenues today than they have ever collected in the history of the country. And so the question must be asked, why does the government find it necessary, immediately after passing a budget, and in the context of that surplus, to go out and borrow $100 million US? This is 270 million EC dollars. The national debt, as we understand it at the moment, is about $2.1 billion. That is what we are seeing. So the question is, what is this money for? And if you say you're making a surplus, why are you borrowing it?
Ray go tell you just now what that money for. So, folks, I hope all you know what's going on here. I hope all you're understanding, right? Nice. Okay, so down the road.
Well, the question is this. If you are going to borrow money...
Just in case, call your NDC friends and tell them tune in. Yeah, they might learn a little something from their own people. Nice? Right.
Like this. Why are you choosing to do something like this at a time when you just come out of a restructuring on the eve of a national election, only weeks before a national election? Yes? And less than weeks really after the budget has been approved. Why are these monies being borrowed?
I am gravely concerned that two things are happening. Some of that money seems to be being utilized for the election campaign. It is part of the campaign to me. I'm saying that based on, I'm not calling any business place's name, but you can check yourself. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in vouchers, providing people with stoves and fridges and what have you, are being distributed around the country by one group. I'm not too sure I want to name any group, but one particular group seems to have all the money in the world to distribute just about everything. And this is a Ray Roberts comment. I know I'm on an NDC platform here, but I think I would ask crave your indulgence. I am particularly worried that this election is being infested with dirty money. And I am not going to don't ask me where it come from, don't ask me for no evidence. You must go and do it. Do the work yourself. There's a courthouse. There are institutions that you can trace. All I'm saying to you, I am very worried that this election can be a bought-out one. But
I wonder if he's worried right now, because now you're not speaking about 100 million. Now you're speaking about 725 million at least. So I don't know if he's still worried. Anybody that have you call him and ask him. I don't know.
I want to say to the voters in particular, look what you have in the parliament now. You have a parliament that is not accountable. In fact, in the last session, we named Member of Parliament Clement as the man in charge of the Public Accounts Committee. There is a man from a gentleman from the same political party that is in government going to be heading the Public Accounts Committee. I'm not speculating. All I'm saying here is that does not seem right for me. Honorable George Vincent filled that role for a while. But if you go back to the notes, and I'm surprised that didn't make any news, that the name I heard called was one Clement to head the Public Accounts Committee. If Grenada is happy with what is happening now, all I can tell Grenada, those of us who are adults wouldn't pay a price. It is the children and grandchildren we're going to have who will pay a price. The debt we have now, we're too old to pay it back. It is the grandchildren and children that are going to be paying it back.
All right, so it's the children and grandchildren that going to be paying it back. The 700 and something million is the children and grandchildren that going to be paying it back. Again, let's make it clear here. Budgets come with loan authorizations. Yeah, it's a contingency. In case you are not able to raise the amount of money you want to raise, and so you have your contingency, your loan authorization, which allows you to borrow up to that amount. Yeah? So, we hear amount, the minister put out an amount, we've heard that amount. Yeah? Contrary, the IMF is saying, well, no return to the fiscal resilience rules, the fiscal responsibility rules, the FRRL, return to that. This government has said, no, we're not returning to that now. Probably next year we go return to it. In the interim, while they are outside of it, they can do this kind of borrowing, where they would be sort of restricted if they institute the fiscal responsibility rules. So that's why they have it suspended into next year so that they could borrow all this money. But we hear, Brother Ray, that kind of money you have to worry, because next thing man looking to buy an election. You understand? Next thing man looking to buy an election. So you have to be careful. You don't want to find yourself in them kind of situation there. All right? Nice. Because we heard they had the whole press conference. The minister come. Yeah? They have the situation with the minister come, speak about the IMF. High in praise of the IMF, saying all kind of thing about the IMF. All you forget. Remember what the Prime Minister had to say about IMF reports? Let me hear what he had to say about IMF reports.
The IMF doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. They've never done so. Right? And at the end of the day, saying that you have a good report from the IMF doesn't mean anything if we have significant unemployment. If you have
it doesn't mean anything if you have what? Yeah, if you have what? I know a lot of unemployed people right now, Go ahead.
Persons who are hungry within our country. If you have children who are not going to school because they do not have access to internet,
What about children who need cancer care and people telling them there's NNP, they're telling the parents and them there's NNP? Benio, let's go.
To have access to tablets. And those are the issues we need to talk about, not a report from the IMF, frankly.
Okay, so don't talk about a report from the IMF here. We mustn't talk about them report from the IMF and them. According to the now Prime Minister, mustn't talk about IMF. I don't think the Minister of Finance got that message from him. Yeah, the Minister of Finance may not have been around at the point in time that he was pontificating on IMF and the messaging and that sort of thing. Yeah, let me hear what else he had to say about the IMF and them kind of thing there. Yeah, hold on the phone lines, man. We will come to all you.
The IMF has given Grenada an excellent mark on their most recent reviews. I'm not sure which one of you two would like to answer this. And in terms of the handling of the economy during COVID, and what is the of course, anything about this statement would you like to add? Anything about the statement that has been said by the IMF that you would like to add towards this in terms of the excellent mark that we get? Anything you like to add to that? You folks like to add to that? I'm not sure who wants to take a go at it. Go ahead.
But I was going to say, I read the statement. I didn't see that the statement said it was an excellent mark. So I'm not sure if I agree with your analysis. I think the statement was simply, frankly, a regurgitation of what was told to the IMF by the government of Grenada. In a nutshell, this was a virtual review of, and these reviews are standard. Because of the challenges posed by COVID-19, the IMF folks did not attend or come to Grenada. It was a virtual review. And coming out of these virtual reviews, the IMF will essentially publish a one-page statement, which is what it did. The IMF doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. They've never done so. Right? And at the end of the day, saying that you have a good report from the IMF doesn't mean anything if we have significant unemployment, if we have persons who are hungry within our country, if we have children who are not going to school because they do not have access to internet, they do not have access to tablets. And those are the issues we need to talk about, not a report from the IMF, frankly.
Yeah, so don't talk about reports from the IMF. Apparently, the Minister of Finance didn't get that. He didn't get a memo. So he went and he talked about the IMF. But no, just making sure that you all remember what was said by these individuals. That was on the 18th of January 2022. That interview, the Prime Minister speaking about IMF report there. That was on the 18th of January 2022. And he says, well, he don't see it was a good report. Yeah, what do you mean it's not a good report? Yeah. Mommy George, leave me alone. Yeah. He says it's not a good report. But the thing was a fabulous report. Now notice, we have never said here that the IMF report is not a good report. We have said that the IMF have pointed out several challenges, and we have said as well that the positive aspects of the IMF report are nothing to do with this government. It has to do with the work that was done years ago by the New National Party. That is why they can point to different sectors and say, well, we're seeing growth in those sectors. It was because of work that was done, the legwork, the foundation that was laid by the New National Party. So when you hear them talking and saying these things now, I think I have a song for them, boy. Let me play a song for them, man. Yeah, I think I have a song. All you know that song, yeah. I think some all you know that song, yeah.
All your third world countries, you really feeling this squeeze.
I think they could find the person who sing that song, and I think he's somewhere in Trinidad. Yeah.
Your budget, you riddled with foreign debt, but I don't mind any loan I give to you. Once you keep in line and do as I say to do.
Now notice the New National Party has never said they're against taking loans from the IMF or so. One thing you have to admit is that the New National Party has been consistent over the years. So they're not for the IMF now and against the IMF another time. They're not for the loan authorization now and against it at another time. What we are simply saying is that you are the ones that were saying all the time that, look, you all having surplus, so why are you borrowing? No, they have come, and it ain't no 100 million. They're going for over 725 million at a point in time that they are claiming that they have surpluses, and the IMF is saying that they don't. You have, where their candidates were saying before that you're taking these loans because you're looking to go into an election. So that is why you're taking these loans. You're going into election and that sort of thing. Yeah? So it is not us. We are not the ones. Let me see if I can see something here. Where is it? Yeah, I'm trying to find the part here. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah, I just want to find what the minister was saying yesterday. Yeah, let me see if I can find that.
Regularly raise funds on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange by means of treasury bills. In other words, every 3 months or every year, we basically roll over our treasury bills that we have on the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange and reissue a new treasury bill. Those figures generally has not changed over the years. However, to finance our 2025 budget, we may need to basically increase our borrowing from the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange. We are fine-tuning that number in terms of what exactly would be the...
But I thought, Minister, that Ole was against borrowing, and I thought all your party was against because putting in debt is going to be something on the workers and all that. Let me just... No, I wasn't going to pull him up. I'll pull him up for a little see, right? Yeah.
Portion of debt we would basically try and raise from the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange in terms of new borrowings, in terms of new treasury bills to be issued. And as such, I will not be able to tell you exactly how much that would be as yet because, again, we are still fine-tuning that particular information. But I can say to you that government will come to Parliament on the 7th of March with the budget presentation, as well as we will basically present to the Parliament an opportunity to have us borrowed.
To borrow? No, that's putting us in debt. Borrow? No, I think you maybe use the wrong word, man. Yeah. Nah, borrow? Nah, I think that's the right word that he said just now. Considering what we heard his political leader, now Prime Minister, saying, considering what we heard the MP study, Minister study saying, considering what we heard Ray Roberts saying, and oil deal chairman on, can't be borrowed, saying no.
And to the Parliament, an opportunity to have us borrowed extra monies and so on for all our development projects that will be coming up. And so I would wait until that number is finalized before I announce it to the nation. I do not want to announce it today because if I do that today, the Ministry of Finance might be still having to fine-tune that figure. But I know what ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over 700.
Now notice he didn't say up to. The minister said over 725. Let's hear it.
Ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over $725 million for additional borrowings. But I know what ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over $725 million for, but I know what ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over $725 million.
They can't say all your lie. So it is not 725 million. They're looking at over. That's the baseline figure. That is not the cap. And we'll talk about cap just now. No, not the one I made. We'll talk about cap. Yeah. That is not the baseline figure, as in we going up. That is the baseline, sorry. That is not the cap. So it is not a situation that they can only go up to 725 million. He said they're going over 725 million. So it might be 800 million, it might be 850, it might be 900, but after we talk about it, now they will cut it down. But anyhow, yeah, they will cut it down. They're afraid of us, and they're afraid talking points. Now we say that they have to cut it. They can't come with that.
Today, because if I do that today, the Ministry of Finance might be still having to fine-tune that figure. But I know what ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over $725 million for additional borrowings.
Yeah, you hear how much you're looking for? Over. Let me play it one more time. Right? I'm playing it one more time. Not 725 million, over 725 million. That could bring you up to $1 billion, $2 billion. That could bring you up to anything. We feel it will go all day, but still.
I want to announce it today because if I do that today, the Ministry of Finance might be still having to fine-tune that figure. But I know what ballpark figure we were looking at. We're looking at over $725 million for additional borrowings.
Okay. They can't say I say. It's not me that say. Let us want to say Sheldon say and Sheldon. Not me. Not me that say. Yeah? Not me that say. Poor Beryl getting blamed for everything. Beryl, that affected 16.9 or 16% of your GDP, your gross domestic product of Grenada. Yeah? Okay, talking mainly in this instance about the fishermen and so on, out of Petit Martinique and Carriacou and so on, and the other enterprises that come out of Carriacou and Petit Martinique that were directly affected by beryl, and the farmers who were affected on mainland, and so in relation to that, along with the farmers in Carriacou that were affected by beryl. But poor beryl getting blamed for everything. All you lie. No beryl that have all you can bring a budget yet. All you lie. Yeah? So don't come with that. Don't come with that at all. Yeah? And remember, they're not going to reinstitute the fiscal responsibility rules. They are not going to reinstitute the fiscal responsibility rules. And we saw, last night I showed you what the IMF was saying in relation to that.
Good morning. I was looking for the reaction button, but I'm not seeing it on my system.
No problem. Good morning, Linda. You may proceed with your question.
Thank you very much. In Minister Cornwall, in his presentation about the IMF report, spoke of its glowing presentation from that body. However, the same report also says that directors welcome Grenada's commitment to fiscal prudence and debt sustainability and emphasize the importance of a timely return to the suspended fiscal rules. Can you tell us whether or not the suspended fiscal rules will be revoked this year, or it will be going in throughout the entire year?
Okay. Thank you for your question.
Right. So good morning, Linda Straker. The question you asked is about when will Grenada return to the fiscal rules. As you may be aware that we continued to build Grenada after the incident of Hurricane Beryl, and currently we are in the reconstruction phase of this activity. And so during 2025, all of our effort would be concentrated on rebuilding Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and so we will not reinstate, the fiscal rules until we are at the end of the rebuilding process. So it can take you the whole of 2025 and some parts of 2026.
Not me say, not me, don't blame me. It's not me say. You understand? Not me say. But folks, while I was going through this, I came upon something else. And I wanted it's slightly off this particular issue, but I just wanted to play it for what it's worth. Yeah, I just wanted to play it for what it's worth. And you'll see why when I play it. It is a little off this particular topic, but listen carefully. And I want you all to listen carefully.
Just one final issue, which is that of the gas price. The proposed chart on gas at $15 per gallon still leaves Grenada, because the $15, traditionally the price of fuel in Petit Martinique and Carriacou is even higher. And the minister has made no reference to what the cap will be for Petit Martinique and Carriacou. And so we are still awaiting that announcement, because I'm sure our fellow citizens in Petit Martinique and Carriacou are also awaiting that announcement. And while we are on that, citizens of Grenada, you should be aware that there is no gas station in Petit Martinique. There is no gas station in Petit Martinique. So citizens of Petit Martinique have the added burden of having to go to Carriacou every time to get gasoline. And on a jetty that is not fit for human occupation and use. A jetty that is inherently dangerous. No budgetary allocation has been made to address the problem.
Also, you do know about the jetty in Carriacou, and you knew about that in 2021. Well, a hurricane has passed and it's 2025 now. What's up with the jetty, bro?
With jetty in Petit Martinique. So, the $15 cap will still leave us paying more for gas. And St. Lucia, which is at $13.95 per gallon, Barbados, which is at $14.92 per gallon, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is at $14.17 per gallon, St. Kitts, which is at $14.03 per gallon, and Dominica, which is at $13.90 for now. Citizens of Grenada, our government collects $5.50 in tax revenue on every gallon of gasoline source. If it was truly concerned about the high cost of living, and given how fundamental petrol is to that process, it would have said not only would we tax the price, but we reduce the tax on fuel consumption.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see what you're doing in relation to that particular one, because you've removed the cap. Yeah? And yeah, I know the audio is sounding funny there. We tried to clean it up from the echo, so that's why it sounds a bit funny there. Right? Yeah. So what are you doing in relation to the price of gas right now? Because sometimes it goes above 15. Now remember, when it was capped at 15, it meant not that if the price went to 13 or 12, that it would go to 15. It meant that if the price was under 15, you paid whatever the price was under 15. And it meant that every time, as has happened several times during the last year, that the price went above 15, that you only paid 15. The only thing they have done is remove the cap. So it has made it into a situation that you are still, you are still going to pay sometimes $16, sometimes $17. When you're lucky, it goes down. I think it's around 13 or something right now. I ain't buy gas in a long time. So 13 or something right now. Next week, we're going to hear the price change again. But you see, at that point in time, they're looking to get a vote. So it was, we need the price of the gas to go down. It was all the nice talk during that period of time. But now, when it is the time, and let me just get the original file here, because some folks are saying they didn't hear it clearly. And I know, especially coming through the system is going to filter it. So let me play it again with the original uncleaned audio so that you can hear what was being said there. So let me play it for you here now.
To address one final issue, which is that of the gas price. The proposed cap on gas at $15 per gallon still leaves Grenada, because the $15, traditionally the price of fuel in Petit Martinique and Carriacou is even higher. And the minister has made no reference to what the cap will be for Petit Martinique and Carriacou. And so we are still awaiting that announcement, because I'm sure our fellow citizens in Petit Martinique and Carriacou are also awaiting that announcement. And while we are on that, citizens of Grenada, you should be aware that there is no gas station in Petit Martinique. There is no gas station in Petit Martinique. So citizens of Petit Martinique have the added burden of having to go to Carriacou every time to get gasoline. And on a jetty that is not fit for human occupation and use. A jetty that is inherently dangerous. No budgetary allocation has been made to address the public jetty in Petit Martinique. So, the $15 cap.
Folks, I wonder if any budgetary allocation has been made to address the jetty, not just in Petit Martinique now, but in Petit Martinique and also in Windward in Carriacou. We heard Senator Cox just a little while ago speaking about the fact that the children now have to go around the long way into Hillsborough. So they no longer can just take the boat and go over to Windward, drop at the jetty there, and then board the buses and go to school. No. Now they have to go the whole way around Gunpoint, I think they call it. Yeah, Gunpoint. You go around and into Hillsborough. So I wonder if his budget, this is 2025, that was in 2021. You've been in office since 2022. I wonder if they have done anything in relation to that now. I wonder if it's in the budget. Yeah, the rest.
Will still leave us paying more for gas than St. Lucia, which is at $13.95 per gallon, Barbados, which is at $14.93 per gallon, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is at $14.17 per gallon, St. Kitts, which is at $14.03 per gallon, and Dominica, which is at $13.93 per gallon.
The only thing they have done is remove the cap, which means that you still end up paying above $15 anytime the cost goes above $15 that you're paying that. They have done nothing that has restricted the price. The costing is still in line with what you're hearing mentioning with the other islands right now, 2.5 years after he came into office. But see, that's the kind of thing. Remember the same person that was saying that NNP was wicked because they had the houses in St. David's locked up and it had vulnerable women that needed place to stay and give the people the houses and so. Who then came in and priced those same vulnerable people out of the houses? This same individual who said that the amount of money people getting under the seed program is not enough, and if government did love people that get them more money under the seed program, is presiding over a seed program that is now cherry picking people who they believe to be supporters of the new National Party and kicking them out until one person could call a seed office and here in the background, what's the name? Oshishi's NNP. And they've been removed from the program. That one of the callers, the callers we spoke with earlier is an individual who has been taken off of the seed program and who has a young autistic child whose father has gone to the great beyond. Same individual. So whether it's gas, whether it's housing, whether it's seed, they are a bunch of hypocrites. I say it as it is. Folks, let's go to the phone lines. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Wait now. Cheese and bread. I didn't even realize time done, you know. If that person called now, we could make one quick, it gotta be a real quick call. If that person can call, they had to call no. If they call no, then it's problem. We can't take that particular call, yeah? Yes, indeed, folks. Their own words does come back and bite them, yeah? I ain't had to come here and lie on nobody, you know. I don't have to come and lie. Just have to play what they say and let them talk, you understand? Just play it for you, yeah. Unfettered. Just let them talk. Nice, yeah. Folks, you know, yeah, if you can't, I can't take the calls, no time up on me, yeah. But definitely on Monday, God's willing, we'll make sure that we give you enough time to call. Sorry, I have some other clips holding in the bag there. That's not all, no, it has some more. Believe me, it have a lot more. So when they're talking about IMF, kindly refer them to tonight's program where they can hear their own people speaking in relation to the IMF. When they're speaking about loan authorization, just kindly refer them to tonight's program and they'll be able to hear everything about what their perception before coming into office about putting the country in debt and loan authorization. And so you're going to hear them speaking on it in their own words with their own face. Yeah? Don't take it from me. We just play what they say. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. Looking forward to seeing those of you that are coming out on Sunday, the Women's Convention of the new National Party. No, I'm not a woman, but I might be on the outside. I might just be on the outside and so lending my support. I'll be around. All right, God's willing. All right, folks. So that's all the time for the program tonight. Love each and every one of you. Looking forward for you all on Sunday.